Hey, welcome. This is Here's to Good Health. My name is Linda Prezioso. I'm a nurse practitioner at Family Medical Center. I'm the owner and operator of the Essential Health Medi-Spa here in town that I am going to talk to you about tonight. I'm going to give you a little presentation of what optimization of hormones means for you, who should do it, why you should do it, when you should do it. I'll be giving a seminar the early part of October, giving this exact same information, but I thought I would show it tonight. I know I've given you bits and pieces about hormone optimization, and you probably don't even know what the heck I'm talking about. So I'm going to show this. This is made by BioT, which is the company that I'm certified with, and I perform pellet insertions for, and I just want you to really understand and know why I'm doing it, what made me think of it, so I'll be showing part of the information by CD. I'll be talking some, so we're gonna start by showing part of this. It's not a CD, it's that little thing you put into your computer. A flash drive. Thank you, Lee. So you'll hear me say periodically, hold it, Lee, or stop, Lee, and then he'll stop the flash drive playing and we'll talk about what was just discussed. There's something called nutraceuticals that you're going to hear about on this flash drive as well, and I'll be talking about that a little bit and why I believe in them. You know, I'm all about natural. You know, I'm all about supplements. You know, I'm all about eating right and being as healthy as you can be. And this is one of the ways that I believe I'm helping people do that. So Lee's going to start this flash drive, and I'll be talking to you intermittently throughout the time, and we'll of course have our commercial breaks. So I'll see you in just a few minutes. Keep your eyes on and look. If you've got some information, Lee doesn't have the phone up now, but we'll get it up between the segments here. And you can call me with any questions as well, 407-1111. Okay, Lee, go ahead.
Are you living your best life? Lack of energy, weight gain, even hot flashes can all be signs of a hormone imbalance. BioT Medical has a unique hormone replacement solution that has helped hundreds of thousands of people, just like you. In fact, our providers have performed more than 1 million procedures in the U.S. Ready to live your best life? Age healthier, live happier. Find a certified provider at biotmedical.com.
Joining us with a unique way to fix it and forget about it. Welcome Dr. Gary Donovitz to explain from BioT. Good morning.
Good to be here.
All right. The bottom line with hormones is that they kind of keep our body in check.
Well, that's right. You know, the problem is people have been getting medications and medications for this problem and that problem, for depression and weight gain. No one's ever even looked at their hormones. I learned a long time ago that was really the wrong way. We've over-medicated people and not balanced their hormones. If you want to reduce your risk of heart disease and Alzheimer's disease and osteoporosis and breast cancer, best way is to balance your hormones, not take a bunch of medications that could increase your risk for cancer.
In fact, I've said over and over again, when I was having so many problems after having my son, no one ever asked me about my hormones, but everyone wanted to medicate being tired, wanted to medicate gaining weight, wanted to medicate everything. And all those medications had the possibility of damaging my liver. And so I thought, but it still isn't fixing the problem. And finally, it was, it's your thyroid.
Yeah, see, now you just know that you're going to take a medicine for a disease, and then you're going to have to get treated for the side effects of the medicine to treat the disease.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so when it comes to hormones, we're talking bioidentical or natural?
Yeah, all bioidentical.
Okay.
Really, in this day and time, there's no need for synthetic hormones. We have exactly what you need, whether it's testosterone, whether it's thyroid, or whether it's estrogen. No need to take hormones from a horse and other things. Those things your body never made to start with. If you want to balance your hormones, bioidentical is the way to go.
Okay, and the way that you do it is very unusual. It's very interesting, but it works in harmony with what the body needs.
Right, so we use very small pellets. It's like a grain of rice. We put it back there in the hip. Last you for 4 or 5 months, do it a couple times a year, and your hormones stay not only balanced, but they stay consistent. That way you're not up and down like a roller coaster.
Yeah.
The problem with pills and creams is your hormones are swinging all over the place. Whether you're a male or a female, it doesn't matter. Swinging hormones do not do well.
Yeah, all right. So I get asked this question so many times, and as you do as well. You finally put it down in a book, Age Healthier, Live Happier, Avoid Over-Medication Through Natural Hormone Balance, and it just is a way to help explain this to people in an easy, simple way.
Right, it just explains to people that what big pharma, what the pharmaceutical companies are doing to you is not making you feel your best no matter what your age.
Yeah.
We're going to live a lot longer. You might as well have a great quality of life, because otherwise you live longer with a poor quality of life. That's just not good.
Yeah, in fact, the medications I was prescribed would cost me $800 a month. Instead, I pay $40 a month to feel good. Okay, so the test, that is a big thing too that a lot of people don't understand, because they'll go get tested and someone says you're within the range.
Right, so within the range is not really important. You want to be optimized. You want to be better than the best. We want everybody to be above the median in terms of testosterone, estrogen, and thyroid. If you put all those together with great nutraceuticals, your body feels like it did when you were in your 20s. And isn't that really the way you want to feel?
Yeah, because aging is kind of the diminishing of hormones, so it's going to catch up with just about all of us.
It's going to get you.
And so when you replace those hormones, you find that you get that energy back, you feel better, you look better, the ability to lose weight, all those things are better.
Right, so you have more energy during the day, you sleep better at night, sex drive is better, sexual performance is better.
Oh, you got some takers. You got some takers. All right, let me just, not all doctors test the same way or look for the same thing. So if we're trying to make sure we get the right thing done, tell us about BioT.
Yeah, so what BioT does is we look at the hormone levels that you need. We know how to interpret those labs. Once those are interpreted, we can optimize the hormones just for you. Whether you need testosterone, estrogen, thyroid, we do all of that for you. Every BioT office is exactly the same. We do it all based on a dosing site. Everything you need to know is covered in the book, and all the BioT doctors, there's 1,000 across the country, they've all been trained the same.
Wow, okay. To order Dr. Donovitz' book, Age Healthier, Live Happier, log on to biotmedical.com, and BioT is spelled B-I-O-T-E. So biotmedical.com, easy read, and it just answers all of your questions, because it's not if, but when. We'll be right back.
Some of the symptoms that I was experiencing were some hot flashes during the day, night sweats.
I was tired all the time. Low libido, just kind of felt like I was a slug.
I wasn't even interested in intimacy with my husband.
My moods were horrible.
Fatigue, lack of energy, not sleeping well at night.
I was grumpy all the time. I just had no joy.
Low energy level, sometimes confusion, just not thinking real clear early in the mornings.
I didn't feel like I was myself.
I thought it was just part of growing old, aging process. I didn't realize that my hormones could be out of whack.
They tested me for pituitary tumors and all kinds of things, and I asked, can you just check my hormones? And that's when they found out that I wasn't making any estrogen.
I had a friend who told me about BioT and what it did for her, and then I was hearing these ads on KOA and other radio stations promoting BioT Medical, and it all sort of converged at the perfect time for me.
I love the idea that it was natural. I love the idea that it wasn't something I had to remember to rub on my skin or take orally or whatever I needed to do.
I tried every hormone under the sun before BioT.
Being in radio, it's stressful. There's always things happening. You've got to be reacting really quickly. And for me, for a while, that was kind of difficult. And then I figured out, okay, it's my hormone imbalance. We got that corrected with BioT. And since then, I feel like I'm raring to go every day.
I found really the results to be pretty immediate. And I think even some of the things I wasn't even aware of, I found a little bit more mental clarity. I didn't realize I was foggy until the fog kind of cleared.
I finally just looked back after a few days once they kicked in and thought I really feel good and I feel like I want to run, and I've never in my life ran.
I'm a type 2 diabetic, and since I've been pelleted, I've been able to come off one of my 2 diabetic medications. I've stopped using my antidepressant drug that I've been on for years, and I've also been able to get off of my cholesterol lowering medication.
First thing I noticed for me when I knew something was different was I was doing the dishes at about 8 o'clock at night one night, and my wife looked at me and said, "Why are you doing the dishes?" And I said, "I don't know. I just can't stop doing them. I just feel like I can get stuff done."
I was excited to be able to keep up with my kids and my family and the life that I love.
I feel confident and I feel excited about living.
Being able to just be spontaneous again has been just a huge asset to our marriage.
It just feels like I'm a newlywed again.
At the beginning of the program, I was engaged, but now I'm married, and my husband even tells me that he didn't realize that it could get better. But I feel like I'm able to give him a better of myself that I didn't even know that was missing.
Now, my husband is pleased that my libido has come back, that I've got my energy, and my kiddo is thrilled that I can run around with him.
Teachers and dean of students that ask me, Lisa Ann, what are you doing? And it's BioT.
I recommend BioT to everybody who talks about hormones, who's out there wondering what's wrong with them. Go for the optimized levels, and the way to do that is go to biotmedical.com like I did.
I would like to thank BioT for changing my life.
For helping me to get my life back.
For giving me a portion of my life back that I didn't even know I had lost.
For what it's given me back, a healthier, happier life, more energy. My husband has his wife back, my kids have their mom back.
I want to thank BioT for helping me age healthier and live happier over the next several years of my life. I'm really excited about what's to come.
So during this last year, I finally got my book published, Age Healthier, Live Happier, and it's really a great book for all of the...
I was watching. All right, so that kind of gives you a little bit of idea. I'm going to play more because I think he's got some good points. And, I've been in the medical field a long time, and I have plenty of women who come to me with the complaints that you have heard on this film, or whatever we call it. And I realized that I did not have the right tools in my toolbox to help these people. I don't like synthetic hormones. They're very restricted. Some of them are made from horse urine, a drug called Premarin. One of the components is horse urine, pregnant mare horse urine, to be specific. Also, those the synthetic hormones are metabolized through our liver, because our liver is the cleansing system, and that can cause blood clots. That can cause some other problems with the synthetic hormones, synthetic made in a lab out of chemicals. Whereas the pellets and the creams, and we'll talk about creams later, primarily this is about pelleting, but I do creams as well as the pellets. They are made from plant hormones. The hormones are extracted from soy and from yams, and so that's how, and those mimic the body's own hormones that we made, that God created us to make. So in my opinion, it is the best way to make us feel happy, feel better, feel good about ourselves, maintain our weight, maintain energy levels and things like that. Because as we age, and I know, I don't care how old you are, if you're 35, you don't feel as good at 35 as you did at 25 or 20. And as we age and go down the pathways of life, we can get to be more and more tired and get to be more and more, we just have a lot of things that make us not want to do things. We're content to stay home and sit in front of the TV, and I don't think that's what God made us to do. Now, there's nothing wrong with sitting in front of a TV, and I expect you to sit in front of the TV every night, every Wednesday night at 7 o'clock. But you know what I'm saying. Some people wake up watching TV and go to bed watching TV, and they don't do too much in the interim. So that's what I'm talking about. So he talked a little bit about his book, and he's going to talk more about his book. And I have them, and I'd be happy to give you a copy if you call me at the MediSpa, which is 252-260-6006. I only take appointments. I'm only open by appointments because obviously I work at Family Medical, and this is my little side gig that I'm helping people. But I wanted to help these primarily women, although I have had a few men that have come in with some of these complaints, especially low testosterone, and that you have to get an injection every 2 to 4 weeks depending upon how low it is, and that's chemicals as well. It's not natural. So it's time for our first break, and when we come back, I'll talk a little bit more about why I've done what I'm doing and why I want you to know about it. So don't go away. We're going to hear from our sponsors, and then we'll be back.
When faced with special care needs for elderly or disabled loved ones, families want compassionate, comforting care. That's Tender Touch Home Care Services' goal, providing the level of care we would expect for our own. With over 10 years of home care excellence, Tender Touch provides an array of services that keeps your loved one at home. From personal care, light housekeeping, errands, and meal preparation, to our private duty care program, which combines all of our home care offerings in one package.
Tender Touch Home Care Services, where your needs are our concern.
Hi, I'm Richard Koss, pharmacist and owner of Almonds Drug Store here in Rocky Mount. Here today with my wife and 2 daughters. For over 75 years, Almonds Drug Store has been the pharmacy of choice for residents of Edgecombe and Nash County. Our family is proud to call Rocky Mount home, and we are excited about the new services and products we are adding daily at both of our Almonds Drug Store's locations and also at our medical supply store.
Come in and see us at Almonds Medical Supply. We're an extension of Almonds Drug Stores, your local hometown pharmacy. We're here to service all your needs, from wheelchairs to walkers to orthopedic supports to compression hose to hard-to-find wound care supplies. And you'll always get that hometown customer service.
We want our patients to pay the best prices, get the best service available, and have a better pharmacy experience than they will get anywhere else. Our staff is committed to going above and beyond to meet our patients' needs. Whether it is working with your provider to get you the best medication at the best price, contacting your provider to get you refills or a prior authorization, or taking the time to review each of your medications with you personally, or perhaps even helping you find an old-time remedy or other hard-to-find items, your Almonds Drug Store staff will work hard to meet your pharmacy needs. At Almonds, we will deliver your prescriptions for free. Both of our stores have drive-through windows, we guarantee short wait times, and our pharmacists will come out to greet you personally and answer any questions you have. If you want to be met with a smiling face, or even want someone to greet you by name when you walk through the doors, we are the pharmacy for you.
Call Almonds Drugs today.
443-3138 or 446-0014.
Hey, welcome back. This is Here's to Your Good Health. My name is Linda Prezioso. We're talking tonight about optimizing your hormones, how hormone deficiency, the problems that it can cause in our life, the issues that we have, hair falling out, dry skin, low libido, irritability, no energy, brain fog. The list can go on. And as I told you, I've talked to lots of women and men, not as many men, of course, as women, but and I realized that the medicines that are available through the pharmaceutical company are not the best, in my opinion. And so I went on a quest to find the what I thought would be the best for my patients. You know, I'm a Jill of all trade, a master of none. But I've been in medicine a long time. I've walked down a lot of roads. I talk to a lot of people. I see how they are and are not helped by some of the meds on, that I prescribe. And so I really wanted to help people. And so I went on this quest to find out what I could do to help folks feel better and have really productive, happy, energetic lives. So I'm a good friend of the compounding pharmacist here in town at Ward's, Patrick Ignacio, and he's been after me for years to get information and learn about hormones and treating women and men with hormones. He compounds creams for me. So if you decide you would like to have a cream that you apply every day versus injection of pellets, which is put in the fatty part of your backside, I can certainly do that, and I do that for a lot of people. I do both of them because I think people should have a choice of what they want to do. Some people are not going to want to put something in their backside, no matter how good it might be. They don't feel comfortable doing that. And so I don't want to do that. I don't want to push that on them if they don't think that's what they should have. And so I've been on the creams myself over the years, and I certainly am a proponent of those, as well as pelleting, but we are talking primarily about pelleting tonight. And in the previous clip that you watched, one of the statements was, it's an asset to your marriage. And I just put some pellets in a lady Monday, I think. I worked on Labor Day, and she had told me that when she went to complain to her gynecologist about these symptoms and that she was having trouble being intimate with her husband because of various problems, the gynecologist suggested that perhaps she and her husband should have marital counseling. Well, that's just such a discredit to what this lady is going through and what she's been through and what her husband's going through. And so I got really upset at that statement. But that's what happens to a lot of women, because the docs don't know, they don't want to know, they don't understand. Anybody who's not been through menopause, or a husband that lived with a wife through menopause, they don't get it. And you're not going to get it until you've walked down that path and walked down those roads. So that's why when he said it's an asset to marriage, I thought, yes, this poor lady that I put some pellets in on Monday, that is going to be an asset to her marriage. And the other thing I wanted to mention before we go back on to more of the seminar was you can have these hormones at any age. There's no age limit. There's no, you have to stop at age 60, which you do for a lot of synthetic hormones. You can have these into your 80s if you want to. And I know women in there that are 75 and 78 that are still getting pellets put into their backside. So it, you know, it's all bioidentical. And you know, when years ago, thousands of years ago, you know, we all died early, so there wasn't even a menopause. That nobody knew about it because we were all dead. But now as our life has expanded and as there's so much more in life for us, you know, I just don't know why we can't just feel the best we can for as long as we can. So, okay, Lee, you can put on Dr. Donovan again, and we'll watch a little bit more of this, and then we'll talk a little bit more. So hang on, I'll see you in a minute.
So during this last year, I finally got my book published, Age Healthier, Live Happier, and it's really a great book for all of the patients and consumers and physicians for that matter that want to say, how do we actually age healthier? Not anti-age, but age healthier, and how do we do it without being on medications? And so what we do in the book is examine how things went wrong. How did Big Pharma get so tied up into healthcare doing disease management that we actually made everyone feel worse? And how can we go back to doing healthcare instead of disease management and make people feel better? And so the book kind of transitions you through that time when Big Pharma took over, got us all unhealthy. We had all these side effects and other problems from the drugs we were using, and for that matter, costing us so much money that we couldn't afford to take care of ourselves or our family. So Age Healthier, Live Happier, what it does is it's a roadmap to take you through what happened. How did Big Pharma get us so sick? How did Big Pharma rob you of your quality of life? How did Big Pharma over-medicate you and actually rob your pocketbook of money you could have used for your family and for living a great life? So it starts with that, and then it says, how do we get healthier? How do we do healthcare again? How do you feel better with less drugs? Wouldn't that be great, feeling better, but not taking medications? And you do that through hormone optimization. And it makes the point that there are studies out there and there's ways to optimize your hormones that are so simple that you do a couple of times a year that you don't have to take medications, and yet you have your best quality of life. That's how you age healthier. There's no anti-aging. You're going to get older, but wouldn't it be great as you get older to feel your best? And that's what the book's all about. And I hope physicians, I hope patients, men and women, read the book and then say, you know what, my life could be better if this was my roadmap.
Today on Home and Lifestyle TV's For Your Health, we look into an incredible way of boosting energy, mood, and overall health, thanks to bioidentical hormone replacement therapy using tiny pellets. It's making one of the biggest buzzes in America these days, so we stopped by one of the leaders specializing in this hot topic, BioT Medical, to find out much more about this fountain of youth, so to speak. We spoke to BioT certified providers and their patients about this incredibly popular and life-changing therapy that people can't seem to stop talking about. This balance of nature and science brings extraordinary benefits, including regaining energy and muscle strength, greater ability to lose weight, increased mental clarity, libido, and overall health, all while preventing age-related illness such as Alzheimer's disease and osteoporosis. At the center of all this excitement is founder, BioT president, and author of bestseller Age Healthier, Live Happier, Gary Donovitz, MD.
So a lot of people have low libido, they're tired, they don't sleep well at night, and they go to many doctors and they have the same problem, and they've told doctor after doctor after doctor, this is what I have, low sex drive, I'm gaining weight, my brain's not working correctly, and they all get told the same thing. It's just getting old. It's normal. Would you like some antidepressants? Would you like some sleeping pills?
The most common symptoms that I see are patients who have unexplained weight gain, who are tired, who who are having difficulty concentrating. They may be irritable. They may feel sad or depressed.
Just in the last few years, I've really started to notice things like fatigue, lack of energy, not sleeping well at night, tossing and turning, hot flashes.
Low libido, just kind of felt like I was a slug.
Sometimes confusion, just not thinking real clear early in the mornings, and by 3 o'clock in the afternoon, I was done. I was crashed.
So I was tired, moody. I couldn't stand myself. I felt bad for my husband and kids to have to live with me.
These people need their hormones optimized. Using subcutaneous hormone pellet therapy, we can optimize their hormones, return their quality of life to them. They have a great life, both in work and with their relationships and with their children. That's really what they want.
BioT certified providers are trained in BioT's state-of-the-art training facility in Irving, Texas. The success of this training, developed by physicians for physicians, has made BioT a leader in bioidentical hormone balancing across the country and is highly supported by natural health physicians and advocates. Feeling better starts with a simple blood test. Since precise dosing is the key, patients are given an individualized dose of testosterone for men and estrogen plus testosterone for women. These cardio-activated pellets are placed just under the skin, delivering balanced hormones 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for 3 to 5 months. Based on daily activity, the hormone pellets release all-natural bioidentical estrogen and testosterone consistently in the body to achieve optimal levels.
All I had to do was go and do a simple blood test, and once they ran all my numbers, I realized that I did have some low T issues. I went in and met with the doctor. I received my pellets, which was a simple process, took just about 20 minutes or so. And within, I would say 2 weeks, I definitely felt better.
Good morning, Denver. April Zasbaugh here, 850 KOA on Colorado's Morning News. Being in radio, it's stressful. There's always things happening. You've got to be reacting really quickly. And for me, for a while, that was kind of difficult. And then I figured out, okay, it's my hormone imbalance. We got that corrected with BioT. And since then, I feel like I'm raring to go every day. And it's really important to this kind of job.
Type 2 diabetic, and since I've been pelleted, I've been able to come off one of my 2 diabetic medications. I've stopped using my antidepressant drug that I've been on for years.
I was excited to be able to keep up with my kids and my family and the life that I love.
First thing I noticed for me when I knew something was different was I was doing the dishes at about 8 o'clock at night one night. And my wife looked at me and said, "Why are you doing the dishes?" And I said, "I don't know. I just can't stop doing them. I just feel like I can get stuff done."
I didn't realize I was foggy until the fog kind of cleared and I realized that, I was thinking more clearly.
I actually lost a ton of weight simply because I had that increased energy. I was sleeping much better at night, waking up in the morning feeling so rested that, it truly has changed a lot in my life.
So I just had 3 patients this morning that told me that their lives are changed, they feel better, they are less fatigued, they don't feel as irritable, their night sweats are gone.
There's such a change and I feel young again. I almost felt like a withered plant, where I was just withering, and now I feel like I'm refreshed and renewed.
I've had several patients go so far as to say, "This has changed my life. This has been the treatment that I've been searching for the last 15 years.
To get your copy of Age Healthier, Live Happier, or to find out more about bioidentical hormone balance therapy using pellets, there are many resources and videos available at biotmedical.com, or to find a trusted, certified BioT provider near you.
Okay, so more and more about BioT, and the more you watch, the more you probably realize why I like this product, why I like to optimize hormones, why I like to give pellets to people, why I want to give them creams if that's what they prefer, because I really want people to do the best that they can do. So it's time for our next break, and when we come back, I'll talk a little and we'll watch a little. So don't go away. We'll be right back after these words from our sponsors.
Celebrate our 20th anniversary with us and see how we can help with your hearing challenges and hearing care. To celebrate this monumental occasion, when you buy a pair of Livio 1600 series hearing aids or higher, you get 1 hearing aid for free because it helps to have a spare of equal or lesser value. We know how inconvenient it is to have your hearing aids serviced, maintained, and repaired without a spare. As a community provider, we are focused on individualized care as personalized as your fingerprint. We build relationships with our patients and believe that is the only way to provide the quality of service that has kept us in business for more than 20 years. We have grown and stood the test of time while embracing technological advances and innovations in our industry. We couldn't do it without all of you.
You don't know what anybody can do for you until you have a problem. And when you have a problem, is how the person works through that problem that makes them effective, makes them beneficial in your life. I get involved in a lot of activities at our church. And with the music and things that are going on, I'm going to my noisy setting quite a few times, and then depending upon who's speaking, I may be going to what they call a theater setting, which is a higher level, and so you have to negotiate. You only have, in my case, I only have like 3 different levels now. She does have some technology. We have some different volume controls. I don't use that, and I have to work with her, and rather than having to come back to the office, it's easier for me to call her wherever she's at, and we'll set us up a time, and then she will readjust my hearing aids over the telephone, which works real good. And I've used that quite frequently. But usually once you get set up, you don't typically have to change much. And a lot of times people don't want to go through the pain of the setup process, but if you don't spend the time in the setup process, you're not going to have the long-term results.
We are thankful to our faithful customers and look forward to many more years of service to our community.
I would say patients, they say it for us. You know, they refer people to us all the time, and they're not going to refer if they're not happy with you. If they don't think you're going to take care of their friend or their family member, you're going to shut right up. They're not going to say anything. And I've built my business on 75% referrals.
We offer convenient financing, layaway, and many pay options to ensure that our customers have comfortable experience getting quality equipment, reliable service you can depend on, and the product that fits both your physical and financial needs. Please visit our website, downeasthearingcare.com. Don't miss out. Schedule your appointment today. This month, we would like to invite you to our VIP 20th Anniversary Open House Hearing Healthcare event. During this event, we are offering 1 free Livio RIC hearing aid with the purchase of 2 Livio MRIC devices per person. Receive an expert, no-obligation hearing consultation and free product demonstration. This limited-time offer is available at our local hearing clinics. Get answers to all hearing-related questions. You can reach our convenient locations in Knightdale at 919-500-7455 or Rocky Mount at 252-378-2018.
Hey, welcome back. This is Here's to Good Health. My name is Linda Prezioso. I think I got to that commercial a little bit early, but I'll get it together. I've only been doing this for 8 or 9 years, so it takes a while to teach this old dog new tricks. Anyway, I'm sorry, but we're gonna keep on watching this video. I do like that he talks about disease management versus health care. It really is true that you come to the doctor and you have a problem and they give you a medicine, and then you have a side effect from that medicine, or something else goes on, and then you need another one. And it's so easy to give out pills, and I really like to get to the heart of the problem, the crux of the problem. I don't want to put a Band-Aid on it. You're depressed. Why are you depressed? You're grieving your sister died. Okay, we need to talk about that. We need to find a good counselor for you. We need to get you to a grief support group, things like that. I don't want to just say, here, take this, you'll feel better in the morning. That's just not me. And I'm not talking about anybody else and the way they treat patients, and I'm not talking about anybody else's way to healthcare. I'm just talking about me and why I want what I want for my patients. So we're going to watch some more of this video, and then I'll come back and we'll talk a little bit at the very end. So hang on, and we'll watch a little bit more of Dr. Donovitz. Hang on.
I was overweight, so I built a career around being healthy. I thought exercising and eating right was all that mattered. And then I hit my 40s. I had hot flashes, I couldn't sleep. I was irritable all the time. A simple blood test showed my hormones were out of balance, which led me to BioT Medical. It literally changed my life. Look, I'm 57 now, but I feel 30.
Age healthier, live happier. Find a certified BioT provider at biotmedical.com.
I spent 23 years in the military. I retired 3 years ago. You'd expect to enjoy your retirement.
Life for myself every day was sitting at the house, anxiety, depression, not a lot of energy, didn't want to get out of the house, didn't want to really do much.
Sitting at home, suffering from depression, PTSD, be by myself.
Because so many of our veterans come back with post-traumatic stress syndrome. That's a big problem. They can't think well. Their memory's gone. Their energy level's gone. They don't sleep well. Their relationships are really on the mend, and they really can't get functional jobs.
So normal treatment prior to being pelleted was going to see the doctor. They want to put you in some sort of counseling, anger management. The problem I have with that is it really sets you back, I believe. It doesn't really get to the root of the problem.
You know the interesting thing, conventional medicine, what they do, they think antidepressants. They think memory pills, which resemble amphetamines, and then sleeping pills to sleep at night are the answer. They're really not the answer, because if you look at quality of life, those people are no better off than they were before they were medicated. The reality is at least 50% of those people, especially the ones that have had traumatic brain injury, blast injuries, and those kinds of things in the war, they have hormone imbalances, which begins with the pituitary gland. Their growth hormones are low, their testosterone levels are low. In women, their estradiol levels are low.
Dr. Donovitz, of course, came over, and we met at the back of the bay at Topgolf, and he was like, just please, I promise you, you will feel better. He says, it won't cost you anything. He said, just come to the office and let's get going on this, because I want to see you live a better quality life.
What we do is actually optimize their hormones, get rid of their symptoms naturally using bioidentical hormones. That way you don't have to be over-medicated, and guess what? Their quality of life returns. So they have a great quality of life instead of being over-medicated where they can't work and they can't function in their relationships with their wives and their children.
A friend told me about BioT. He sent me a link to the website. Thought I'd give it a shot.
I noticed the difference fairly quickly. Family members have come to me and say, wow, you know, we've known you our whole life and you're doing a lot better.
After the second week, I started leaving the house again. It made me feel wonderful.
I'm smiling more, and you know, I'm enjoying life now.
Get a better quality of sleep at night. Before the therapy, I was sleeping probably 3 hours a night, and now I'm getting a good 6 hours. Pain levels They're way down. I'm up to running 4 miles a day now. As before, some days I wouldn't even get out of bed.
Bella and I get out pretty much on a daily basis. At the dog park, whatever activity that might be going on, I feel like going now. Before, I didn't feel like going.
With BioT, it's given my retirement back.
And the depression's going away, the anxiety's going away, and the energy levels way up, way up.
BioT changed my way of life.
You know, this treatment has been much better than any treatment I've ever been through over the last 5 years. If you are suffering from PTSD, you know, the medications, the rehashing everything, the counselors, the anger management, there are other options.
It's a simple blood test. What do you have to lose?
I would recommend it for any of my brothers out there, sisters, you know, please, you know, give it a try.
It's amazing how something so small that's implanted can make a big difference in your life.
Definitely like to thank Dr. D and Mandy for approaching me that day. It has made a great change in my life, and I just want to tell them thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, BioT.
Saludos, bienvenidos al seminario para pacientes de BioT Médica.
Sorry. Then we were going on to the Spanish version, and I think if I have any Spanish-speaking people out there, I'm sorry, but we went through the entire English one. So I thought it was really interesting the help with PTSD, and I'm sure all of us have known somebody who suffers from that. You know, just about every, well, I shouldn't say that, but a lot of guys that come back from, you know, being in Afghanistan or Iraq or those places have a lot of these problems. There's a huge problem of suicide with PTSD patients. And so if we can put pellets in them and have them feel a little bit better and feel better about themselves, I mean, isn't that worth it? So if you all know anybody out there that has that problem, I've got a dear friend who lost her son to suicide because he couldn't get past what he saw when he was in the war, and he couldn't get past that and all that negativity he had. And I mean, he had a lovely wife and children, and it broke my heart. It certainly broke hers to lose her son, of course. And I wish I would have known then what I know now. I could have maybe helped him, but I didn't know. So that's just another reason why I do what I do. I think it's certainly important that we take care of everybody as best as we can. Now, is hormone optimization for everyone? Some people are going to feel good without it, I'm sure. You know, and my daughter has a neighbor who watches me a lot, so hi Cruz, if you're watching tonight. And I think she's going to be 102 in December. No, 101 maybe. Anyway, she's a go-getter. I mean, at 80 years old, she was up on top of her roof sweeping off leaves until her kids got upset with her and told say, Mom, you can't do that anymore. So you know, she is probably one who didn't need that. And there are certain people that I'm sure feel great. But for the majority of us, we have aches, we have pains. And just from the little bit I've been doing this, because I got certified in February. I went to Atlanta and got certified with BioT. And since then, the things I've heard from my patients are, I feel great, which, you know, that kind of goes without saying, I guess. One lady that I put pellets in maybe a month, 6 weeks ago, she told me that all of her aches and pains that she was experiencing getting out of bed in the morning have gone away. So I'm not saying that it cures arthritis, but I'm saying that it can help with aches and pains that we get as we age. And you all know my dear friend Jean White, who comes on this show periodically, and she's a retired nurse practitioner, and she's a researcher. She looks into things, and she has osteoporosis, and she's been on a medicine for 2 years to help with it. It hasn't changed a bit. And so she went on to research to see what could be done and what kind of hormone therapy, if any, would help that. And it is through her research, pellets, hormone pellets are the best way to treat osteoporosis. So, you know, that's a really debilitating disease as well. And boy, you fall and break a hip, and it's about all she wrote, I can tell you that. Just, you'll make it through the fall, you make it through the surgery, you make it through the rehab, and then you go home, and a lot of times you don't make it. Part of that is because they don't feel good because their hormones aren't right. So if we would have optimized them before, they wouldn't have the osteoporosis. So if they fell, they wouldn't have the negative outcomes. So it's just a big tumbling, you know, effect. It's like being on that hamster wheel. Go and go and try and try. So if you all have any questions, give me a call, 407-1111. I got a couple minutes left here, and I'm just about out of things to say, if you can believe that. So I'll talk a little bit about not the Medi-Spa, but Family Medical. I'm very excited. We have 2 new doctors that have come in, Dr. White and Dr. Mick Junkins. I'm going to call him McDonald's one of these days, I'm sure, but I don't mean to. Anyway, we're really excited about that. We've been needing more doctors. You know, Dr. Michael stopped working at the Family Medical about, I don't know, a year and a half, 2 years ago now, and he has his own practice called MD VIP. And so he's still seeing patients, of course, but he does things a little bit differently, and he's had several programs on here, so you might have known about that. But it's what I call concierge medicine. I'm not exactly sure what it's called, but you pay him X amount of dollars a year, and then he sees you whenever, whatever. So if you've got a sinus infection Sunday morning at 8 o'clock, you can call him and he'll send in something for you. And that's kind of the wave of the future. And I'll tell you, a lot of this, insurance is a real problem. And it's a problem for us to get reimbursed. It's a problem for me as a provider because insurance tells me what medicines I can give you. I write what I think is right, and if it's not on their formulary, they won't pay for it for these patients. And then the patients have to have a medicine that maybe isn't quite as effective for them, but that's, you know, it really makes me mad. So I better not get on my soapbox about insurance, but Dr. Michael does not take insurance. His is this cash that you pay every year. And then Dr. Abel, who has worked there for many years as well, is retiring in December. He will be officially done the end of November, and then he's got a few vacation days he'll be taking in December. So he's been my medical provider for 10 years, and I'm happy for him. I want him to be able to rest and enjoy the rest of his days with his wife and his grandchildren and his children. He's actually in Indiana. His parents are still alive and well, and I think his dad is close to 100 now. So that tells me that Dr. Abel's got a lot of years left, and so we want him to be able to enjoy that with his family. But I'm heartbroken because He's been so good to me, and I've learned so much from him, and he's such a wonderful, nice man. But things have to change, don't they? All right, my time is over. I will see you next week with more of Here's to Good Health. Have a good night. Bye-bye.